kind of late in the day. The sun is starting to go down below the trees. Ah, shit. That's not good. Oh, that'll piss them off. We'll start that again, shall we? Okay. It's getting kind of late in the day. The sun is starting to go down behind the trees, but I want to look back in hive number 1. If you remember, I put a frame of eggs in here, and I'm hoping that they've either made a queen or they already have a queen. I did give them a little bit of extra feed today because if they have a queen, they might need some extra resources. And we've had a lot of rain the last few days. So I'm just going to give them a little bit of smoke, not too much. Sounds pretty quiet in there. What I'm hoping I can do is to give them some more frames. And this box, put some frames in that box. That's my plan. Hoping. So, lots of bees on the lid. And a lot of propolis too. So they're really going to town with the propolis there. Now let's take a look. I want to start at this side because I know the frame of eggs was here somewhere. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was this one. Should have made a note of which one it was. Shouldn't be on this frame. In fact, there's not a lot of anything on this frame. I don't even know if they have a queen yet. I hope they do. This frame is empty. Empty comb. Let's shift these along. I see a beetle on there. Gotta get him. I see a beetle right there. You see that? So I'm going to squish that. That's squished. A little bit of honey on this frame and nectar. Give them a little bit of smoke just to push them down. Yeah, nectar and honey on this frame. I forget which frame it was that the eggs were on. Fairly heavy, this frame. Nectar. All nectar and honey. So I'm wondering, was it this frame? I think it was this frame. A little bit of smoke. Now there is an egg cup there, a queen cup. Can't really see inside of it. I don't see any eggs, and I don't see any larvae or brood. this was the frame that I gave them last week, which had eggs, so that doesn't make sense. Unless they're on the next frame. Let's just smoke this a little bit, see if I can get a good look in there. So there's an egg cup, a queen cup. I'd say that would be an emergency cup, but there's nothing in it. Nothing in it at all. Okay. Bit of cross comb here. Yeah, this is not the frame. This frame they already had. And it is just honey. Trying to get some sunshine here. I don't see any eggs in there. Just honey. Okay, so let's put it back in. Interesting. Did they not make themselves a queen? Maybe they already have a queen that's not mated. That's a possibility. They're starting to get a little bit louder. Which I would kind of expect if they didn't have a queen, which honestly it looks like they don't. At least a mated one anyway. You know what, I'm going to remove this frame, give myself some room. Drawing out some comb on this frame. Nothing on that side. Just going to leave that there for a second. Let's give myself some room here to work. Oh, okay. Oh, there's out of the way. Right, what are we seeing? Cross comb in here, or bridge comb, whatever you want to call it. Looking for queen cells or eggs or larvae. Not seeing any of that. I see honey. Lots of open cells, there's plenty of room. There is a queen cup right in the center here. I might have to put another frame of brood in there. Or eggs, I should say. But what would have happened to the eggs from last week? They were 3-day-old eggs. They were actually brand new eggs. It was the frame the queen was on last week. So what happened to them? I don't understand what would happen to them in just a few days, like a week, from egg to not being there. Honey and empty cells, pollen. Same thing, honey, pollen, and empty cells. No brood. So there is no brood in this hive. No brood or eggs. Yep, I looked at this one. Okay, so they're starting to get mad at me now. So I'm going to start to close them up. This frame in here, same way it was. I don't know if you can hear them roaring, but there's definitely a lot of sound here. So that kind of indicates no queen in my book. So I may have to steal another frame of eggs from hive number 1 if they have any eggs, which I'm sure they do. Well, I hope they do. Okay, now like I said, I was feeding them, and I think I'll continue to feed them just for now, keep them occupied. I was thinking I could give them another brood box, but now I don't think I do. There's a wasp. Killed him. Get out of my hive. Stay out of my bus. Okay, put the lid on this one. We'll call that done. Just for fun, we're going to open up the nuke. Okay, again feeding, but I think maybe it's robber bees, to be honest. But I could be wrong. If it's robber bees, I will stop feeding. I tried to put a frame of... I did put a frame of eggs in here quite a while ago. They are making some comb. But is there any brood in here to indicate queen? Plenty of bees. This frame is very light. There is nothing on this frame. Just a few bees. Nothing on that frame. This is the hive, well, sorry, this is the frame that I took out of one of the hives. I can't remember which one I got it from now. I think I took it from hive number 1. Oh, and it's very light. But guess what? Well, there is. There's no way. There's no eggs, no brood, no nothing. There is what appears to be a queen cell right here. I don't know. I think this is one that was already opened. Wouldn't it be great if there was a queen bee in there and she was trying to get out and I was assisting? That is not the case. There is nothing in there. No, it's empty. So there's nothing on this frame at all then. That's a shame. Hang on, there's one more here. I feel like I need to... one here that's empty. What are they doing? They seem pretty busy on this frame. Now, what is this? We have a queen cell. We have a queen cell right here that they seem pretty active around, but I can't imagine there's anything in it. Now there's a lot of activity, a lot of wing flapping around, so I don't know if that's to tell me there's no bees or there's a queen bee on this frame. Could there be? Look at them with their tails in the air. See them with their tails in the air? I like the look of that, but I don't know if that's telling me anything or not. They seem... they're all there, but there is no brood, no eggs. Anyway, let's get out of this frame because realistically that's the only frame that could do anything, because the others are literally empty. Pretty sure this one is empty too. It was just comb, maybe had some honey on it originally, and now nothing. And I'm looking for eggs. There's no eggs. There's nothing in this nuke box now. There's a beetle. Get out of there. Nasty thing. Squash in. There's another one there. There's two beetles I squashed. Okay, I'll put that back in there. The problem is if I don't feed them, there's another beetle. Get out of there, you. If I don't feed them and there is a queen emerge, they've got nothing to give to her. I don't think there's anything happening in this hive at all. I really don't. So I'm going to stop feeding this hive or this nuke. Another wasp. Another wasp. Summon a gun. In fact, some of the syrup is leaked. I'm going to drip all out the front entrance now. That's a lot. I didn't realize. It's kind of nasty. That's going to be a problem. In fact, I'm going to change this nuke out. Can't leave them in there because there's too many dead bees in the bottom with the nectar, but I don't know where, I don't know. This is doomed, I think. Didn't work. Failed experiment. I do believe. So, see all the nastiness in there and the dead bees. So they're now in this box. We'll see what happens. And I'll put this cover on, which doesn't have a hole in it. I'm not going to feed them anymore. Let them do whatever they're going to do, I guess. Just looking in the box to see if there's anything significant like a new queen, but I don't see any. I just see worker bees. Just worker bees. I'll clean that one out. Okay, so far not a great inspection yet. No queen in there, no queen in there, failing nuke. Lots of bees and honey. I just need to get a queen in there. So I need to get some eggs in there. Okay, so we're at hive number 1. I can see the monitor now, so that's good. I don't know. A little bit of smoke. This is kind of what I want to see. Some bees on the lid, no queen on the lid. She's marked. I saw her last week, so I know what to look for. If I see a queen, I know what to look for. Again, crushing the beetles if there are any under there. Come on, get off. Crushing any beetles that might have gone under there. Pull this off the beetle traps. Now, lots of comb, lots of honey. Is there any brood up here? There was last week. Now this outside frame is not drawn out on the outside. Drawn out a little bit on the inside though, but nothing in there. No honey, no nectar, nothing. So that's good. We'll put that to the side. Now this is a two deep hive. Two hive bodies. 2 deep hive bodies. Can't even speak now. And if you remember, I said these were stuck together a little bit because I made the body too shallow, a little bit too shallow. And this is white foundation. Black foundation is better for seeing the eggs. This is all nectar. This next one looks like it's all nectar. nectar, nothing capped. But there's no rainbow of it's all nectar. So that's going to be all honey eventually. Look at all the honey at the top, it's capped, that's ready. Just need them to cap the rest of it. So this is good for reference purposes. The first frame, the first two frames, the first frame was basically nothing. Second frame was nectar. Third frame is half honey and half nectar. Fourth frame, if I can get it out, stuck in there pretty good. Come on, that's heavy too. I expect this to be the same, half nectar, half honey. So these guys are working pretty hard, and I have some brood here. So there's a little bit of brood here in the middle, surrounded by honey, and that's all capped honey. While I'm in here, I'm looking for any signs of beetles or wax moth. So far I'm not seeing any in this hive, which is good. They're pretty calm, which is nice. I might have killed a bee or two, unfortunately, but oh wow. Let's take a look at this. What do we got here? We got some nectar, we got some honey, and some drone brood at the bottom, and a little bit of worker brood in the middle there. Not too much, but there is some. Same on this side, a little bit of drone and worker brood, mostly nectar and honey. That's a pretty heavy frame. Okay, this is frame number 6. What I want to see is some eggs up here, if I can. Then I could transfer some more eggs to hive 1. A lot of worker brood on this frame. A lot of worker brood and honey, nectar. This side too, same thing. A lot of brood in the middle. That's all brood in the middle, worker brood, and honey. She may have gone down to the bottom box because there was some open cells there last week. A lot of honey in here. All nectar and pollen. There's a few worker brood cells, not many. Same here, a lot of worker in the middle, surrounded by honey and nectar. This is frame 6, I think. No, frame 7. That's frame 7. Should number these, put numbers on them. Makes it easier to follow where we're at. This is frame 8 now. I think we're going to get back into just honey because they're with the outside now. All nectar. Just nectar in here. Again, all nectar. There are some drones in here I'm seeing. I don't see the point. Oh, there's some burrcomb down there. I'm going to have to get that. Where would that have come from, I wonder? Interesting. I need to get in there and pull that chunk of comb out. Hello. Ooh. And frame 9, new comb and nectar. Same again, honey and nectar. So she won't be on these frames. But if I dive my hand in here, what is this? Piece of burr comb there. That's all nectar on this frame, frame number 10. So I'm going to put these all back together. Maybe misplacing this one a little bit, but that's okay. It's only honey. So they're still capping, but they don't really have any cells up here as such. So I'm wondering, can I put another box on? So I do have another box in the basement. I just painted it up today. Just made it. Now they're getting angry. They're starting to get mad at me. I guess I didn't use hardly any smoke. Now this is just drone brood, but it's an opportunity to check out to see are there any varroa mites on these drone cells, so we can take a look. I'm not seeing any, so there's no little black spots, no little specks, which would indicate varroa mites. So that's a good sign. I'm not seeing any. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to do that to check if you have any varroa mites. So don't give me a hard time if you think that's cruel. I don't know. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So I'm going to put the cover back on this. And so I think these guys could use another box. I do. Now I have more frames that are drawn out. So I think that's the plan. Now if you come. Okay. Oh, that's heavy. Wow. That's fantastic. Mr. Bombastic. Okay, so again, a little bit of burr comb, nothing too much. Outside frame is probably all honey, which they don't. I need some space for the queen to lay. So what I might do, yeah, that's all nectar. Don't see eggs on there. And I would expect if they were there, I'd see them because it's black comb. So again, outside frame, queen's probably not there. Don't you just hate killing bees? Part of an inspection though, is unfortunately some of them just get in the way. So I have brood here. Come on, girls. Brood and brood and larvae in the middle of this frame. You can see the larvae and the brood in this frame. I'm going to put that one back because I'm really looking for eggs. If I can find eggs, then I can help out my other hive. If not, I might have to contact my guy for a queen. He said he might have some in a week or two. I think that might be the way to go anyway. Come on, girls. There's a lot of bees here now. Come on. I tend to not use a whole lot of smoke. But sometimes you gotta push them down into the hive. Okay. Whew. Lots of brood. You can see lots of brood on that frame. I'm not really looking for the queen today. Would be nice to see some eggs. I'm seeing honey and larvae. So yeah, larvae in there, that's good. Larvae and brood. So I know she's been in here this week. But she doesn't have a lot of space, I don't think. So, if I can put a box on the top and pull some of the honey frames from the second box to the top box. Come on, let's go. I think that might be a thing to do. Lots of larvae. What is this? I got a swarm cell. Well, I'm going to knock that off. This is a swarm. I believe that's a swarm cell at the bottom. I'm going to crush that. Do not want them to swarm. Just the one. There's an emerging bee right here. Where is it? Right here. You see him? Her? Right here. Tip of my finger. Come on, girl. Pop out. Just her head is out right now. We haven't got all day. Haven't got all day. I'm going to put them back, they're getting heavy. Well, I'm seeing eggs, I'm seeing larvae, but I'm not seeing eggs. But she hasn't got a lot of space or room to lay eggs because they're using all of the space for pollen, nectar, resources. But I did see some larvae and some brood. There's worker brood down here in the bottom, down here in this corner. this one out. Should be all honey. Come on, girls. If anything, it's just, yeah, there's nothing on here, just the drawn out comb. I do not see eggs on the comb, and probably, oh, there's some little bit of comb on this side too. Again, no eggs on there, so didn't expect that though. So I'm seeing everything except eggs. There's my queen. I just saw her. She's right here. There she is. She's going under the frame. So I know the queen is in there. She's on this frame, but she doesn't really have... There are some eggs on this frame. Just make sure she's still on this frame. There she is. She's at the top here by my thumb. There she is. Okay. So I'm going to put her back in, and I'm not going to go any further with this hive inspection. I know there's a queen in here. So I just need to put the outside frames back on. And then what I want to do is move some honey, nectar, out of the top box. And put in some open frames that she can lay eggs in, hopefully. So I think she's probably okay though. I'd like to see some more egg laying. That's cool. I've seen her again 2 weeks in a row. Put this top frame on. It's heavy. Oh. Yeah. You get out of the way, girls. Okay. Doing that, forgetting to put the bee traps on. Couple of bee traps. Come on. Come on, girls. Have to come back in here and come on, get out of there. There it is. Okay. Okay. There go the bees flying. At least they're not getting crushed. And they're all on my leg now. Can you see that? All on my leg. Okay.